Hi you guys, welcome back to the channel. Today on the channel, we are doing another week of weekly wrestling rundown. This is where we discuss everything that happened this past week in wrestling, all of the news, all of the SmackDown Raw recaps, and everything in between. So let's start with a little bit of SmackDown. So I'll be honest with you, I did not watch SmackDown live. I caught like some recaps of it because we had things to do, but I did catch the recaps of it, and so I'm going to talk about like the things that stood out the most to me. So I kind of like Mello and The Miz. I said last week that I really wanted Miz to have a solo run, but the fact that he's at least getting on my screen lately is good, and I still stand by that. But Mello and Miz kind of work. I don't know. They have a weird dynamic. It's almost like Charlotte and Alexa, where they have this weird, like, are we friends, are we not friends kind of dynamic. And it actually kind of works. So I'm not disappointed with it. And I actually am loving seeing more Mello on my screen as well as The Miz because I think he's very underrated. So I'm digging it. If they need to book Mello this way for a little bit, that's perfectly fine with me. And then I want to know what's going on with Julia because I have no shade towards Julia. I like Julia, but ever since she won the title, it's disappeared. Like, literally disappeared. She has not really fought for anything. We don't have many prospects. I mean, maybe Machin because she ran into Kiana James and had a little tiffy. But I don't know. I just don't know where they are going with Julia. I don't know who she's going to battle against. But it's really slow, and honestly, it's making me uninterested in this title. So I hope for her sake that they can book her better. But right now, it's just not giving me anything. John Cena delivered an absolute great promo, as John Cena does. He is the king of promos, and basically called Logan Paul out to get us excited for their feud coming up at Clash at Paris. And I think this is an interesting match. I think that it's got some interesting dynamics to it. And again, I said before that the fact that Logan Paul is one of John Cena's like final competitors is really kind of a nod to Logan, that they respect him enough to put him in that mix. So I don't know. We'll see what happens at Clash of Paris. I think that Logan Paul is great in the ring, honestly. I think that he does perform in the ring, whether you like him or not. So I'm expecting it to be a good match. But I feel like there's some kind of underlying in this match that I'm actually going to talk about on my Clash of Paris predictions. But I feel like there's something going on behind the scenes in this. The Drew and Logan dynamic is really kind of interesting. I don't hate it. I actually like that, like, Drew is kind of coaching him, and trying to show him the ropes or whatever. I think that's a little fun spin on Drew's character lately. But again, I think there's a little more to this that we're going to talk about in a later video. I think there's a little more to this whole piece of the puzzle. And then I'm getting vibes that Jimmy and Sammy are a new tag team. Like, it just feels that way to me. They're always fighting the Solos family. Then they interrupted in the Street Profits match with the family, and it just feels like we're getting Jimmy Sammy tag team vibes. And I don't know if that's the direction that WWE is going, or if that's the way it has gone because they have been in this feud with Solo and his family, but it just feels to me like we're getting some Jimmy and Sammy tag team action going on. So does that mean Jay is going to continue his solo run? I don't know, but it's giving me some Jimmy Sammy tag team vibes. And then Truth is back, and we love him. He went to Georgia. He did not go to the right place, which is in all true fashion. And Damian Priest came back and returned. And I am super excited to see DP back on our screen. I have said over and over and over again that he needs to be back on our screen. He needs to be back booking. We need him in matches. I think he's a fantastic competitor, and I am excited that he is finally back and we finally get to see more of him. And then Cody and Randy, you guys. We have to talk about Cody and Randy because I love that Randy snuck up on Cody and hit him with the RKO. It feeds into this whole back and forth battle that Randy's been doing for a while, where he is like, am I the good guy? Am I the bad guy? Hearing voices. I want to punt people. Like, I just love that he is really feeding into that. And I love that Cody is his target, honestly, because I feel like that's the perfect slot for Randy, is to go after that title, go after Cody's title, and I think that's a great, great opponent for Cody. So I'm super excited to see how this plays out. One thing that I will say is I'm intrigued by who Tiffy's next opponent is going to be. We've seen her team with Jade, we've seen her go against Nia and Becky, and so there's a lot of stuff going on, but I don't feel like it solidifies any next opponent for her. I personally would like to see Tiffy and Jade again. However, I don't know if they will pull the trigger and give Jade the title. And if they did not do that, then I feel like that would be pointless. So I am not sure what direction they're going to go with Tiffy. I'm not sure who's going to beat her at this point because she's faced a lot of tough competitors. So I'm interested to see, I guess, how this whole thing plays out. And then we did have NXT Heatwave, and I'll be honest with you guys, I did not watch this one. I caught, stuff on Twitter, did not fully watch it. But I'm loving what NXT's got going on right now. I love the Chelsea Green and Ethan Page duo. I think they are fantastic together, and I think the WWE struck gold with those two, like pure gold. I hope that they stick together for a while, and I honestly hope that they come to the main roster together. And I just love everything about that duo. I was surprised that Javon Evans did not win the title. And that Oba retained, honestly. And I'm also a little surprised that Ricky Saints is his next competitor. I for certain thought Javon was gonna win because I thought Oba was gonna come to the main roster. I also thought Ricky was gonna come to the main roster a little while ago. So the fact that they're keeping these guys in NXT just shows how much they want this brand to like be a competitor with the other ones, which I love because their talent is amazing. So I'm interested to see where that goes. But those are the two things that stood out that I saw on Twitter. Because like I said, I did not watch it. And then we move on to Raw, which debuted earlier. So again, I was watching along, but I couldn't react or anything. So we started off with Roman, and Roman basically told Bronson Reed, like, I own you. Bronson Reed was like, hey, I'm Samoan. And then Roman was like, okay, well, that means I own you. And I'm actually excited for this feud out of all of them because I think both of these guys are going to deliver. I think that they have had the most build-up, aside from probably Becky and Nikki because they've had a lot of build-up lately. But I feel like Roman and Bronson have had a lot of build-up lately. And I'm really excited for this match. What I am nervous about is I know that Roman is going to be filming a movie soon. And I am afraid that this is going to be the last bit that we see from the Tribal Chief for a while. Which I'll talk about more in my Clash at Paris predictions video, but it makes me a little nervous that Roman's gonna go away on my screen, and he's gonna go away in a not pleasant way. But we shall see. And then we have to talk about Xavier Woods' fashion game because ever since he's been mourning of the tag titles, he has slayed in the outfit department. I mean, the hat, the accessories, everything that he is wearing is cracking me up and absolutely killing it. I also want to say that I don't hate Grayson Waller with them. When he first was with them, I was like, what is going on here? Like, what is this? But I don't hate it. I actually think it's kind of funny and brings an interesting vibe to their group. I also would not be disappointed if they got the tag titles back at some point in time because I love the Judgment Day. But I feel like that Finn Balor needs to do bigger things and their tag title holding has ran its course. Nikki, we have to talk about Miss Nikki Bella. she had a promo with Becky Lynch to hype up their match for Clash at Paris, and she just feels so comfortable. Like, she's been gone, you guys, but I can't even tell because she's so comfortable in the ring, she's so comfortable on the mic. And honestly, I am super pumped for this match as well at Clash at Paris because I think both of these ladies are going to absolutely deliver. And I can't wait. I just am so excited to see Nikki back on my screen. And the fact that she's just fitting in and flowing so well is amazing to me because the women's division is a lot stronger than what it was when she was there. And don't get me wrong, they had strong division as well. But the women now are crazy, and the fact that she's flowing in with them seamlessly is really cool. The AJ and Finn match, nothing spectacular happened here. It was a good match, but it was really refreshing to get a match without interference for once because ever since the Judgment Day started, it just feels like that's what they do. That's their gimmick. And so to have Finn have a match is just really refreshing. And then we know we get Dom and AJ part 2, which again makes me a little nervous because usually when there's a part 2, the outcome is different, and I do not want Dom to lose that title. So, makes me a little nervous. And then the moment that had me screaming and crying at the same time, Jay super kicked Punk, and I didn't know how to feel, you guys, because I love Jay and I love Punk and I love them together, and I was screaming for Jay because he is on a whole nother level. He is so serious right now because he lost his title and he is trying to prove himself and he is so serious. So I was screaming for Jay. I was like, yes, Jay, yes, like prove yourself here. And then I was also crying for Punk because I love Punk so much. But it was such a great moment and such a interesting addition to this feud that they're gonna have with Rollins and Knight added into that because now there's so much bad blood all around. So I'm very intrigued in that storyline. And then we have the biggest announcement that Adam Pearce did, which is Stephanie is no longer on the Clash at Paris card. But he is going to announce her opponent soon. He already knows who it is, and he's going to announce it soon. And I feel like this has to be a return, right? Like, I just feel like for them to make it this big of a deal, it has to be a return. So I'm thinking Miss EST, Bianca Belair, check in, and maybe I'm delusional, but I'm hoping that she's cleared, that she's going to be the one that Stephanie faces for this title because I would lose my mind. I love Bianca. I think she's great. I think she should be in that title scene. And I love Stephanie too, and I think these two together would do amazing things. So, to be determined on who that actually is, but your girl is being delusional and hoping for the EST. I'm hoping she's cleared, but I can't wait to see who it is. But overall, you guys, we are only a few days away from Clash at Paris. We have one SmackDown left. And I feel like the build has been slow, but I do feel like we have some decent matches on the card, so I'm interested to see what goes on Saturday. And I'm interested to see how we continue to build these storylines and build these titles up because hopefully we continue to just move on this momentum and we continue to build this up because we are super close to another Royal Rumble. And it's hard to believe, but you guys, it's almost September. It is September. So we are literally like 4 months away from another Royal Rumble. And so this is kind of the time for me where we really slowly start to build those storylines for the Royal Rumble. And so I'm just really interested to see where all of these people go. There's so many moving parts right now. But I want to know, what was your biggest takeaway from this week of wrestling? Let me know. Let's talk about it. And as always, please subscribe to my channel, like, comment, follow me on all socials, and I'll see you guys next time.